and some really funny little ones, like a little lizard that you push, and like the little poop dolls, that they used to have out that had the ears and the eyes pop out, This one has a little erection. This goes poop. So I don't care. I would work absolutely any place that would give me freedom. I don't care what the magazine is, as long as I can have freedom. I worked right next to the wheeling dealing page in the East Village Other, not because like I supported the wheeling dealing pages. I didn't care. I just wanted to work and work free. I used to think I had to be as good as Al Foster before I would really get to any point where I feel acceptable to my work, or like Angelo Torres or Al Williamson or that kind of thing. I mean, that's what I wanted, or Jeff Jones. I was a fan of Jeff's before I met him. And I felt like I had to arrive at levels of craftsmanship which were really not in harmony with what I found out is one other little thing. Not only do you have style, but you also have levels of reality inside yourself. And when you try to work beyond a level of your own reality, you try and work beyond the level of your own reality, you may never be able to approach or be able to quite get the satisfaction you can by trying to recognize where you really would like to work at. In other words, Blackman works with shaky lines, and that's where he'll take a little drawing and he'll stop at a certain point. What makes you stop at a certain point? What makes me stop and know that I'm done with the hat at a certain point, or any of these? I could have worked the hell out of any of these with thousands of lines. And the thing is I have sort of a reality level, a little cartoon dream world. And once I get my particular drawings up to a particular level, all of a sudden I just know it's done, because it's just clicked inside me. It's like a light has gone on, and this is an acceptable view of the little tiny schizophrenic world inside my head. And other artists do it in their way, and it's sort of like a process of creating something, of creating a real place, a real thing, a real image. First vehicles that I realized that I had invented, which would work for me beautifully, and that is they're stand-ins for men. And the things that I do with them, the really stupid, insane things that I do with these lizards, are just like reflections of what I as a man and I've not only observed but been doing all my life. The people at the Lampoon, strangely, I had a meeting with them. They don't get feedback like they want to. It's sort of a sad thing, because they get tired. They work awfully hard, and they get a lot of people rag about the magazine, saying that the quality isn't good anymore, and this sort of thing's happening. But they don't see that the wild popularity I do of the Lampoon magazine, because I'm out with the students, and even at their worst issues, I tried to explain this to the managing editor last week. I said, look, even at your lousiest issues are still the only thing going for, like they do bomb issues, but it's still the only thing going on a monthly basis that is of that character, of that kind of satire. And it's just like some of the things those guys are doing. They're such a great group of people to work with. I knew Michael O'Donoghue long before the Lampoon. I knew I was supposed to work at the Lampoon before the first issue was out. Things were just like directed me toward it, and I presented Cheech Wizard to them in the first, and Michael Gross, who's their design director, their advertising, or their art director, but design director now. He didn't like my work, because he had never really read it, and he didn't know that it carried any message. It just looked awfully Walt Disney cartoony to him, I guess. But after he finally got to a point where he was reading a few pieces, and after about a year, I started working for the Lampoon. And I didn't like the Lampoon at first myself. I just thought it was a sophisticated mad magazine. And now, of course, that I've got into it, and I've allowed myself to get more involved with this magazine that I have ever gotten with a magazine before, or a project before, that hasn't really been my own project. I didn't start my shows as a result to be an editor and represent the National Lampoon, but it turns out now that I do an awful lot of representing of their magazine. So the thing is that I think that there's room for everything to exist, and there are people who have every right in the world to dislike what they see in the Lampoon, and those people shouldn't read it. And those are the people who shouldn't come to my concert. Oh, out of